The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth as Sheriff Daniel Carter stepped out of his car. The mist rising from Blackwood Lake gave the already eerie night an unsettling stillness. The call had come in just before midnight. A body had been found in the old Holloway house, a place abandoned for years, its decaying walls hiding more than just dust and cobwebs. Daniel adjusted his hat and stepped onto the creaking wooden porch. The Holloway house had a grim history, known in the town for its strange past. 5 years ago, a young woman named Evelyn Moore had vanished without a trace, and despite numerous searches, no clues had ever surfaced. Some whispered that the house was cursed, that those who stepped inside were never quite the same when they left. But tonight, something real had happened, something undeniable. The front door was locked when the police arrived, and all the windows were sealed from the inside. Yet there in the middle of the grand room lay a body. The victim, a middle-aged man, had no identification, no signs of forced entry, and no apparent cause of death, except for the blood pooling beneath him. The only clue? A half-burned note clutched in his stiffening fingers. "Find her!" Daniel's heart pounded. Could it be Evelyn? Was she still alive? Or was this some cruel game orchestrated by an unseen hand? The next morning, the town was already buzzing with rumors. At May's Diner, where gossip flowed as freely as the coffee, speculation ran wild. Some said the house was haunted. Others believed the victim was Evelyn's killer, returning to the scene of his crime. Daniel sat across from his old friend and local journalist Claire Bennett. She had covered Evelyn's disappearance years ago and never truly let the case go. "This can't be a coincidence," Claire muttered, scanning the crime scene photos. 5 years, no leads, and now suddenly this? Someone wanted you to find that note. Daniel nodded, deep in thought. Whoever the victim is, he was looking for Evelyn. Maybe he got too close to the truth. Claire tapped the photograph of the burned paper. Or maybe he found her. Back at the station, forensics confirmed something chilling. The victim had been dead for almost 48 hours before he was found. Yet, the fire that burned the note had been recent, meaning someone else had been there after the murder. Someone who wanted to send a message. Daniel revisited the Holloway house, searching for anything the initial sweep may have missed. He ran his fingers along the dusty shelves and stopped when he saw something unusual. A book missing from the otherwise untouched shelf. Behind it, wedged between the boards, was an old, faded photograph. It was Evelyn, and she wasn't alone. Standing beside her was a man, a younger version of the victim found in the house. The back of the photo had only one word written in rushed handwriting. Sorry. A cold shiver ran down Daniel's spine. If Evelyn had been with this man and now he was dead, then she might still be out there, and whoever had killed him might be after her next. Time was running out. Daniel traced the victim's identity to an old real estate agent named William Hale, who had been obsessed with finding Evelyn. His notes, found in a locked drawer at his home, detailed his search, visiting old records, following whispers of sightings, even bribing people for information. The last entry in his journal was chilling. I finally found her. She's alive, but I'm not the only one looking. That same night, Daniel and Claire followed Hale's last known lead, a cabin deep in the woods near Blackwood Lake. The closer they got, the heavier the air became, thick with the promise of something just out of reach. Then, they saw it. A dim light flickered inside the cabin. Someone was there. Daniel gripped his gun as he and Claire approached. The wooden door creaked open, revealing a small, dusty room. In the center, hunched over a desk littered with papers and old newspaper clippings, was a woman. Her hair was longer now, her face gaunt and tired. But it was her, Evelyn Moore. She looked up, fear flashing in her eyes before recognition settled in. You shouldn't be here, she whispered. They're coming. Before Daniel could ask who, a sound outside made his blood run cold. Footsteps, more than one pair. The real killers had arrived. Everything happened in a blur. The cabin door burst open, masked figures storming in. A struggle, a gunshot, and then silence. When the dust settled, one attacker lay motionless on the floor, the others vanishing into the dark forest. Evelyn was shaking, but she was alive. As they pieced together the truth, it all became horrifyingly clear. Evelyn had never been kidnapped. She had run Run from a powerful group who had wanted her silenced. William Hale had found her, but so had they. And now, with their plan exposed, they had no choice but to erase the final loose ends. Daniel took Evelyn's hand. "It's over now." She shook her head. "No, this is just the beginning. Some mysteries don't end with a single case closed. Some shadows stretch far beyond what the eye can see." And as the sun began to rise over Blackwood Lake, one thing was certain. This case had only just begun.